tenderly, a kiss my lover brings, she brings to me, and I love
tonight. In that case, we'll move along to the approval of the minutes. We have both the August the 11th, 2011 minutes to be approved. This was a call meeting. Do I have any corrections or changes?
I can offer a motion for approval.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I need to abstain from the August 11th.
Seconded that.
The August the 18th, 2011 meeting of the Planning Commission. Any changes or corrections for that? Do I have a motion?
Approval.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We'll move along to item number 3, discussion and public hearing of a site plan for Buddy Gregg Mobile Homes for motorhome parking lot, 11750 Snyder Road, parcel 179, tax map 130, approximately 8 acres, zone C-1. Brian Mills, applicant.
In your packet was a copy of the letter identifying the necessary changes, and also copy of the aerial photograph, the site plan, the topo map of the site. The topo map showed you the large sinkhole area. You are familiar with this site because they came in for a land disturbance grading plan a couple of meetings ago, and they have done that work, and now they are proceeding with a site plan for their parking lot for their large motorhomes. Obviously these are larger than normal parking spaces to accommodate the motorhomes, but at your places, staff is recommending approval of this site plan subject to items 1 through 17. Number 17 is meeting all town requirements, and then the last several of them dealing with posting the erosion letter, the letter of credit for erosion control, the drainage fee, and submitting the NOC from TDEC. And we are recommending approval subject to these items.
Anyone with the applicant wish to say anything? You would give us your name and address, please.
I'm Brian Mills. I work with Adams Craft Hertz Walker in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, engineering firm in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. We're basically working with Buddy Gregg to develop this plan, and I don't have a whole lot to say other than if there's any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer the questions. One question I have, maybe for Ruth, is I know we discussed a week ago about the letter of credit has already been posted for the land disturbance part, and I thought we were just going to update that date and extend and hold that letter of credit for this work as well. So I just want to make that one note.
Yes, I do believe you are correct in that. So, yes. Cross out 14.
Anyone have any questions?
I have a question for Ruth. On item number 10, remove all overhead utilities. Is that a town requirement now?
Yes, it is, and it's part of what was required with the, when we went through the road closure, they eliminated all of that electricity because it went to the house, and then there was a TDS line on it that I talked with TDS representative about, and they were either going to eliminate that line because they had lines coming from other areas that actually goes across the interstate, or they were going to underground. The last time I had heard, they were actually eliminating it. So it would just be in conjunction with all of that.
Questions? And you all are okay with all these other subject twos then? Do I have a motion?
I'll move for approval.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you all for coming. Item number 4 has been postponed tonight. Move on to item number 5, discussion and public hearing on the site plan for the Hatcher Hill Strip Shopping Center to be located on the northeast corner of North Campbell Station Road and Parkside Drive, 600 North Campbell Station Road, located between the Weigels and First Tennessee Bank, 1.22 acres, Zone C-1, Tim Hill, Hatcher Hill Properties, LLC applicant.
For some of you, this is a very familiar site plan. It was commonly known as the FLP shops, and they came back before us several times, and they are now coming back again, so it looks very similar. This is the aerial photograph showing the site, and this driveway here will remain, and the design is off of that with the parking off of that driveway. That driveway will not be modified. This is what the color rendering is of the building. This area here is a metal accent. The architect is here. I don't know if you have any questions with regard to that, but what this shows is they were matching the red brick of the Weigels that is next door. You remember that when we had the very visible from all 4 sides because it backs up to the First Tennessee Bank and the Weigels site, and then it fronts on Campbell Station Road and Parkside Drive. We are recommending approval of this site plan subject to items 1 through 5, the 5th one being meet all town requirements, and submitting copies of NOC, submitting drainage fee, ensuring the civil and the architectural sheets are compatible, are consistent, and having First Utility District sign off on it.
Just a question.
One with the,
Oh, excuse me.
anyone with the applicant here?
John Sanders with Sanders Pace Architecture, representing the applicant, Hatcher Hill Properties.
Say first, then.
No, I
Betty.
think Ruth summed it up. It is a different owner this time. She said we were coming back, but it is a different group this time, so we appreciate your attention to this.
Thank you.
My only question was, the access to this property is through Weigels or the bank, right?
Correct. That is not changing at all. Actually, the Weigels and First Tennessee Bank and this building are all on the same parcel, and that is a joint access easement that connects across from here to here, all the way around this way. And that is the joint access easement, so that'll be the access to this property.
John, I remember some parking concerns that was brought up by the bank a couple of years ago about the potential restaurant use of maybe a couple of the bays.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we as far as our normal parking requirement versus maybe supplementing something additional for a potential restaurant use? I know that was discussed, and it seems like that it was incorporated in this plan.
They have double the number of parking spaces that is required. They meet the restaurant parking requirements. Whenever we have a multi-tenant facility, we don't require parking based on a particular use. It's on a smaller center like this, there's 5 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet. They know potential tenants are likely going to be a restaurant or a cafe or some kind of food service, and so they opted to do the full 1 parking space per 100 square feet of gross floor area, and they far exceed our minimum requirements.
Give quite a bit of comfort to First Tennessee Bank, which was concerned about overflow parking. We appreciate that.
Questions? And you all are okay with these remaining requirements?
Yes, we are.
Any idea when you expect to start?
As soon as we get our building permit.
I saw the fence up there already.
Yeah, we'll be, we go to VRB the 27th or 28th, and then we hope to start moving dirt at that point and get our building permit. We'll be submitting for it Monday, so.
Motion?
Move to approve, subject to the staff's recommendations.
Second?
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you all for coming in. Item number 6 has been postponed. Item number 7 is for discussion purposes only. Discussion of amendment to the Farragut zoning ordinance, Chapter 4, Section 14, special events permit.
We talked about this fairly extensively at the last meeting, and you had, you asked that I get back with David Purvis, with the Farragut Business Alliance, and get their feedback on some of the things that we had talked about. We had spent quite a bit of time talking about the signage more than anything on this particular item, and in talking with David, I had asked about, the ordinance prescribing the sign size of 4 feet tall, excuse me, it was supposed to be 5 feet tall, and yeah, it was 4 feet tall, 5 feet wide. Prescribing the sign background color of either navy blue or white. Prescribing that the sign have grommets and affixed to a studded T-posts, and this obviously would only apply to ground-mounted signs, not to wall-mounted. Requiring the Shop Farragut logo to be located in the right bottom of the sign, and if there was any way to change the Shop Farragut logo. With regards to the 20 square foot sign, they asked that we not prescribe a particular sign dimension. David actually forwarded me numerous emails, and then we kind of went through them, and he summarized them because some of them were all over the place, but there was definitely a theme in the responses. There was a concern that, and this kind of partners in with the second one, is that they were afraid that they'd be too monotonous and they would not be eye-catching if they had all the same background or that they were all the same shape, that it was not really going to meet their needs. They did say that, so they would ask that we not prescribe a particular sign dimension. They were okay with the 20 square feet, but did not want it 4 by 5. They then said that they would prefer that there not be a prescribed background color, but they actually preferred white over the navy blue, that if we were going to prescribe anything, that it would just be a white background, which most often that is what we do see as a white background. The examples that I had for you kind of were anomalies in some respects. But they did ask that. They were okay with the grommets, with the studded T-posts for the ground signs. And then they actually, it came out of the FBA to go with the 25% logo, but they did some mock-ups of different signs and designs, and the concern with if you mandated that it be in the right-hand corner, it could negatively affect other people's logos or whatever their information is. And then they also asked that it be reduced from 25% to 15%. And part of the reason for that is what Ron brought up at the last meeting, that if you order a 16 square foot sign, it's much cheaper than ordering a 20 square foot sign, and requiring 25% of 16 square feet is much more cumbersome than requiring 15%. But if they did go with 20%, a 20 square foot sign, the 15% did give more flexibility and everything. So they asked that to not prescribe the location of the Shop Farragut logo, and to just require that 15% rather than 25% of the sign area be dedicated to the Shop Farragut logo.